Good afternoon, everybody. How is everyone? Was it raining outside?
A little time.
Good. That's good. I heard a rumor that for some snow flurries or something. It's getting cold out there. Welcome to Lakewood. So happy to have you all here on this chilly Wednesday. My name is Hillary Winkleman. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing. I see lots and lots of familiar faces, so glad to see you all here. This is a really exciting day. We've been waiting for this moment, and we're really happy to share this information with you. Did anyone come to the information sessions in May or in the spring? Couple of you. Okay. So this will be a little bit of a refresher for you all. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. But just want to go over our agenda. We're going to do some welcome and introductions. We're going to go over the expansion timeline. We'll talk about the project overview, look at some renderings, the floor plan options and building layout. You all should have in your packet, in your bags, you should have a folder with floor plans and pricing, a pen, a pad of paper, and there's a card in there too. That's really important before you leave this room. Whether you are interested or not, we're hoping that you're going to check that yes or no box and leave that card in the back of the room. So please do that for us. That's going to be helpful for us. We're going to go over the pre-sales process and timeline, reservation procedure and pricing, and then we're going to have plenty of time at the end for questions and answers. So I would like to introduce my team, my awesome team. In the very back, you will all probably know these people. I hope you do. If you don't, we'll probably have some problems here. But in the very back, we've got Ginger White, sales counselor. Ginger's been with us for just about 5 years now. Alden Rice is also sales counselor. Alden's been here 3 years almost. Mary Catherine Keary is our marketing assistant and move coordinator. Most of you have probably talked to her on the phone when you RSVP'd or got an email from her, hopefully. So I just want to say very quickly, I know, it can sometimes be frustrating when you have a question or you need to talk to your sales counselor, and you get a voicemail, and it's like, oh my gosh, why hasn't Ginger called me back yet? I need to talk to her. We are very rarely at our desk at any given point during the day. If you can imagine the first time that you came to see Lakewood or any one of these communities that you visit, a tour can take anywhere between an hour and a half to 3 hours, and we do more than one tour a day. So all I can say is, give us a little bit of grace. I promise you we will get back to you. If you need to talk to right away, you can always call me. I am not always at my desk, but I'm probably a better bet than Ginger or Alden, certainly. And Mary Catherine is also usually sitting at our front desk. So, but we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. We're usually pretty good about returning phone calls. Our residents always, they get upset with us sometimes because we're here in the evening a lot. We try not to be, but that is often when we return phone calls because we stay so busy. So I just say that because we don't want you to be frustrated, but I promise you we will get back with you. But we're really all very excited that you're here. And now I'm going to talk about the expansion timeline. So many of you remember that back in the spring, we had the 2 hybrid homes approved by our board, and we very quickly reserved all of the apartments that were available in those 2 hybrid homes. In about 6 weeks, it was very swift. And then we kind of were in a lull for a little while. Well, December the 9th, our board approved the next 3 hybrid home buildings. So that is when we sent out the letters, and unfortunately the timing of those letters were right during the holidays. So you know, the postal system is not necessarily as reliable as it used to be, so we knew that we needed to probably send you an email as well. So I don't know if some of you may not have even gotten a letter in the mail, but hopefully you got the email and that's why you're here. So we had the information session last Friday. Of course, you're here today, and then we will send out the recorded version of these information sessions to those who were not able to come to either one of these. And once everyone's got the information, we hear back from those of you who are interested in potentially coming in for a one-on-one appointment. We'll start scheduling those appointments later on this month. And we hope to get through those, through this first quarter into March. So here, in terms of our overall development timeline, we started in the spring with the 2 hybrid buildings, and through our pre-sales process currently, we will be pre-selling the next 3 in this first quarter. The site work will begin on the first 2 hybrids that we have already pre-sold later this quarter, probably February into March. And then the construction process will continue through the first part of 2028 when we'll have move-ins. Our goal is really to reach 70% pre-sales of the 42 apartments that we're looking at filling now. There is a 9-month permit and approval process with Henrico County, a 20-month construction process, and you can see there at the bottom that our anticipated move-in date for these buildings is March or April of 2028. So what is the plan for the hybrid homes expansion? So this map here shows the 2 red buildings are the 2 buildings that we have already pre-sold, and the ones in the pink are the 3 that we're talking about today. You can see the existing hybrids above it, so those are hybrids 1 and 2. Those are the ones that you passed when you came in today. And then hybrids 3 and 4 are the red, 5, 6, and 7 are the hybrids we're talking about. There are 42 total apartments, 14 apartments in each hybrid building. The architectural design is very similar to the current hybrid homes that we have on campus already. They look very similar. They're a little bit larger in size, but really beautiful in terms of the finish. And on the back side of this building, you can kind of see there's a really nice arch in terms of the entryway of the building. In the feedback that we received from our current residents in our hybrid homes, we made the garage doors larger. So some differences, but the outdoor spaces are really generous. Just a really nice size and look. So this is a virtual tour of, it's actually one of our residents' apartments, and probably a lot of you have been in this apartment. You may know this resident. You may recognize it. But I'll kind of talk through this video. There are 2 floor plans that we are carrying over from our current hybrid homes into the new building, and then there will be 3 new floor plans that don't currently exist. But this is one of the floor plans that will carry over from our current campus to the new building. So this apartment is called the Oak. It is right now, this is the largest floor plan in the hybrid home, but it will not be the largest in the new buildings. It's 1,650 square feet. What's nice about this particular floor plan is it's got a huge outdoor space. You'll see it in just a second, but all of these floor plans have a really open floor plan in terms, this is the den in this floor plan here in the oak. Primary bedroom is here. In all of the hybrids, the ceilings are really tall. They're 10 feet tall, so it makes the space feel even larger than it is. This is the primary bath, the double sink there. Does anyone recognize this apartment? I figured you probably would. This is actually the second bedroom that they've made into kind of a den. Guest bath. And you'll see this is the outdoor space. So it's over 900 square feet of outdoor space. So it's like having 3 outdoor rooms right outside of your apartment. It's just lovely. So you can see that whole stretch is that outdoor space for the oak. Now again, these are the current hybrid homes, so they'll look a little bit different in the new buildings. This is the storage area. And a shared garage, which will be similar, although the garage will be a little bit larger in the new build. But that gives you a little bit of an idea. Okay, now here is the oak floor plan in 3D. So you can see that the main living space is in the middle, and then you've got your secondary bedroom suite on one side and the primary bedroom suite on the other, which is attractive to a lot of people. And that's 1,650 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath with the den. And then the maple. The maple is also a floor plan that currently exists here on our campus in the hybrid homes that we are carrying over into the new buildings as well. It's a little over 1,400 square feet. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. What's nice about the maple is it's on the corner of every building, so you've got light in every room, really big windows in every room in the apartment home. The Hickory Deluxe is a new floor plan in the new hybrid building. It is larger than the Pine, if any of you have heard of the Pine, which we currently have. It's a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath apartment home, but it's got a really nice sized den. You could actually make that, you could technically make that a 2-bedroom, but it is a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath. The Hickory Deluxe is the same as a Hickory. The only difference between those two is the Hickory Deluxe has windows in the den, the Hickory does not. Other than that, there's really no difference. And then, of course, there's the Sequoia. And this will, when these hybrids are built, this will be the largest apartment home that we have at Lakewood. It is 2,600 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms with a den. So if you like a lot of square footage, this is the apartment that you will want. It is a big one. Lots of room to spread out, that is for sure. This kind of gives you an idea of how the apartment homes are laid out in the building. This is actually the first and the second floor. So you can kind of see the maple. Remember I mentioned that those are on the corners of every building. Those are in the pink. The oak is the green apartment in the middle. And then the Hickory and the Hickory Deluxe are there, the purple and the yellow. So you've got the oaks. There's 2 oaks there between the first and the second, 4 maples on the first and the second floor, and then 4 1-bedroom, 1.5 baths in between those 2 floors. And then on the 3rd floor, you've got another oak and then 2 maples, and the sequoia takes up one whole side of that 3rd floor. It's kind of like the penthouse suite. The lower level, there are no apartments on the main level of the ground level of the hybrid home. Those are all garage. That's the garage level of the building. And there you can see you have 1 garage spot per apartment home, except for the Sequoia, and there you get 2 spots for the Sequoia. There is, you can see, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see here, but there is a spot for golf carts. We're going to talk about that in just one second. So this is just a larger version of the Hickory and the Hickory Deluxe. And that's 1,285 square feet. The maple and the oak. And then the sequoia. So one of the nice amenities of these new hybrid homes is we are providing 2 shared golf carts, 2 6-seater golf carts per building. So you and your neighbors would have the use of these golf carts to, come up to the clubhouse, go visit friends, use it however you'd like. Scoot around the community. Now, if you wanted your own golf cart, you can do that as well, but you would need to use your parking space, your garage parking space, to charge your golf cart. So if you did that, your car would have to go outside because you only get 1 garage parking space. So the architects and the construction. So THW Design, we have used them in the past. They do a terrific job. We are using them again for this project. Actually, right now, our corporate office is meeting with some of the builders who are bidding for this project. So they have not been chosen yet, but it is imminent. And we'll know more very, very soon. In terms of the sales process, let's talk a little bit about that now. The information sessions obviously are happening now. And our plan is to, once we get your feedback, if you're interested in potentially coming in for more information about reserving an apartment, we'll gather the information and we will begin to call you in order of your wait list date. So the folks who have been on the wait list the longest, we'll start there and kind of move our way through that way. In terms of the different wait lists, there's really only 2. There's the regular wait list and then the wait list ready list. It does not matter that, those 2 lists, it's not going to matter which one you're on. The wait list ready list is, if you're ready to move this year, that kind of puts you on the wait list ready. But we're going to really just put all those folks together and go in order of your date. So all you have to do is say, yes, I'm interested in one of the new expansion hybrids, and we will go in that order, knowing that there is a timeline that it's going to be about 2 years for moving. And I kind of went through this, but we will call you. You'll get a call from Ginger or Alden, whoever your sales counselor might be. They'll set a date for you to come in. If you happen to be out of town or you know that you're going to be out of town, we'll work with you to try to figure out how to work around that. If especially if you know that you're going to be out of town soon, please let us know that so that we can kind of figure out how to arrange that. But we will have you come in. We have a really neat kind of virtual software where we can walk you through, even if we don't have the actual floor plan. It's almost like you're walking through a virtual floor plan of the Sequoia or of the Hickory or the Hickory Deluxe. And we'll give you all of the information we possibly can. about what's available. You obviously have pricing, but all of the information that you need to decide whether this is something that you think that you might be interested in doing and reserving. If you decide to reserve one of these upcoming apartment homes, we will ask you to fill out a financial form, which is part of the application process here at Lakewood. We'll ask you to do it at deposit, and then right before move-in, we'll ask you to update that information, but preliminarily we'll ask you to fill out that form, and we will require a 10% deposit of the entrance fee. Once you've reserved the apartment, then we kind of, the fun starts. So we'll start having some future resident events, some fun things, some educational things, but what's neat about that is you get to know your neighbors before you even get here. So it's a lot of fun. So in terms of pricing, you all have the pricing for 2026 in your packets. The pricing is a little bit different in that, you know, when LifeSpire kind of decided to how to price these apartment homes, it was very intentional in that, you know, at Lakewood there are currently we have 28 different floor plans here in the community, and we really wanted to keep it as simple as possible. It is between the contract types and the refund options and the 28 different floor plans, and knowing that we have 2 floor plans, the maple and the oak, that already exist here at Lakewood, we really thought it best to keep the pricing the same as the current community, you know, and then the pricing will be increased the next year along with the current floor plan. So the pricing that you have now is 2026 pricing. So if you were to walk in today and we offered you an oak today, the pricing that you have is the oak pricing today. We can't predict what it will be next year, but you know, historically, Lakewood has kept the fee increases as low as we possibly can. I'm happy to share, you know, those fee increases over the past 5 years, 10 years, whatever makes you comfortable. But we are not charging any kind of premium on new construction. You know, given the demand, I think we probably could. But, you know, we're a faith-based not-for-profit. We are not going to do that. We're going to keep the fees where we think we should, and keep the fees the same as where our current residents would have them, or you know, pay the fees for this year. Given that information, if you were to deposit on one of the, you know, floor plans today, or the new floor plans, and you receive the fees next year, typically we give our residents 60 days for their fee increase before the fees do increase. If you received the fees in 2027 and you thought they were unreasonable, or you didn't think that it was something that you could do, you could receive your 10% deposit back with no penalty. So there is language in the reservation form that would allow you to back out for any reason with that fee increase. And we thought that was fair. So the final pricing will be determined by our board of directors in 2027. And again, you have the option to withdraw once those fees are released for next year, should you decide that those fees are too high. So now we've got questions and discussion. I've got 2 microphones up here, and I'm going to ask maybe Mary Catherine and Alden. We got a big room, so we got to split you up. Should have worn flat shoes today.
When do I ever?
I know.
Are there elevators in the building?
Yes, sir. There is an elevator or 2 or 3 in every building here at Lakewood. So if you don't want to be on stairs, you don't have to be. But yes, there's an elevator in the hybrids, yes.
Do you have backup power?
We do. The hybrids will have generator power. Depending on where you are at Lakewood, there are generators. The newer buildings have.
I mean, if you depend upon an elevator to get up and down, they're have backup power.
Yep. The older buildings don't have generators for the elevators. The newer buildings do. Yep.
If you get on the wait list, you have your interview, and you say you want to go, and then a year later, and you said there might be price increase and moving in, what happens to your status to the wait list?
It's a very good question. Your wait list status would change. So you'd start over, essentially. If you decided, for any reason to come off of your deposit, whether it's for the pricing or if you just decided to go somewhere else or any kind of change, we would refund your deposit, and then if you wanted to come back onto the wait list, you would start over with a new date. Yeah, that's a good question. Hang on, we're going to make sure that the microphone gets you so that everyone can hear the question.
I got a couple.
Sure.
Based on what he just asked,
Yep.
your situation changes, perhaps not economically, but physically. So you wanted 2-bedroom, everything else. Your spouse dies, you decide you come to one of the apartments instead. Will my name then be again starting? Not because I decided that the pricing is not, or because I went to another place, but because the condition for one of the 2 people, if there are 2 coming in, needs to go into the memory care, and then the other partner decides it's easier just to go to one apartment versus a house, so to speak. I mean, all the hype is a house. So what is the decision then? Does your name go back to 0?
So if it's health related where you're no longer eligible for independent living, one of you, that's a different scenario. So there's no penalty, and we would keep you at your wait list date. So, but that would require that one of you is no longer eligible for independent living.
You have to confirm these are all independent.
Yes, sir. Yes. The question was, I don't know if everyone heard that. He just asked if this was all independent living. And yes, this is all independent living, the hybrid homes. Oops. We're going to get the microphone to you just so.
So we're just starting to look at Lakewood. How do you define these type homes versus elements in Japan?
That's a great question. I love when that question gets asked. We often forget, because we just use that term all the time, that we just forget that that's such it's like a made-up word. We've been using it for so many years that we forget. The hybrids, and I remember, I've been here 9 years now, and when we built the first hybrid homes, we're like, why are we calling it hybrids? And we were going to change the name, but it was too late, and now we just use it, and we forget. But the hybrid homes are really a hybrid between a cottage home and an apartment home. It feels very much, when you're inside the building and you're inside one of the apartments, it really feels like you're in a house, because there are big windows, there's light in every room, the ceilings are so high, you've got a garage, you feel like you're in a house, but you're actually in an apartment home. And what's really nice about it, if you ask any of our residents who live in the hybrid homes, they will tell you it's better than, it's the best of both worlds, kind of, because, for our cottage home residents, it's a little bit, it's not isolating, that's not the right word, but you know, you don't have any, you've got neighbors, but you're not connected in any way. Whereas the hybrid homes, it's like a community within a community. You know, currently we only have 10 apartments in each building. So it's a much more, it's a smaller community. You've got neighbors, but it's not this huge building. So they have their own, you know, meetings and parties, and you know, you've got people around, but not too many. So it's a nice hybrid between the two living options. Hopefully that helps.
Yes, and then in the range, yeah. Speaking of wild parties, is there a maximum number of people that you've allowed in for gatherings?
No. I don't know if everyone heard that question. So, So if you have a party that large, we have common spaces that you can reserve within the community that are probably going to accommodate a group that big way better than in your home. And you can cater it by our team here so that you don't have to clean up, you don't have to cook. It's amazing. Let me tell you, it's amazing. So that's easily remedied too. It really is. One of the beautiful things about being here is that life gets a lot easier, including, I mean, I always say that just the not having to cook anymore is why I would be here in a second. But yes, absolutely. Any of the common spaces here, whether it is the card room, the little living room off of the lobby, the private dining room, you could reserve this space if you wanted to. I mean, any of the spaces here are for resident use, and you can do it for private parties. So that is absolutely doable, and rather than you having to entertain in your home. Now, you can do that too. You could entertain in your home, but certainly for 50 people, you know, I would think that using one of the spaces here, and you can bring all your decorations and all, I mean, we have residents do that all the time, and you can cater it, which is great. So, but yes, there's no, the answer to your question is there's not a maximum, there's no cutoff. So hopefully that helps you. And I know there was a question back here too, yes.
What is the percentage of increases that occur on an annual basis and quarters? Every 2 years, or is it something that occurs once in every 5 years? And what is the percentage of that amount that you can anticipate?
Yep, it happens every year. So that is something that you absolutely should anticipate, and not only here, but every community that you visit. Our fee increase happens January 1st. That is the beginning of our fiscal year. This year, our fee increase was 3.75%. Typically, you know, we usually tell folks between 3 and 5% generally. And that's been, you know, historically about right for the past 10 years or so. COVID was, you know, the labor, that really threw everything off. That 1 year was 8%. But outside of that, it's really historically been about somewhere between 3 and 5%.
Does that apply both to the buy-in and the monthly?
No, that's monthly fees. Entrance fees vary. Sometimes there's no increase. Sometimes it's only on one particular contract type, or maybe it's, you know, it's just one neighborhood, the villas, or maybe it's, you know, so it doesn't, it's kind of all over the place with entry fees. Depends on the market. That was a good question.
What are your future building plans beyond these next? Do you have property here that you can expand on?
So after this is done, we have no more buildable land. So we sit on 128 acres. we have more acreage, but no more buildable land to build on. And most of that is because Tuckahoe Creek is behind us, and a lot of that is protected. So we are done with building out. Now, there's always things that need to be fixed and done, and we have a plan for improving dining and common areas and things like that. That'll be kind of done in tandem with these hybrid homes. But in terms of new independent living buildings or more, we're done after this. The footprint, it will be completely expanded out.
Is there a discussion to expand someplace else on that property?
We have 5 communities in Virginia, and there are currently 3 of us are expanding. But and our home office, they're always looking at opportunities, but none currently outside of the current communities that we have.
On construction, what kind of soundproofing is there built in between the units? And then also, is there a common room in the hybrid structure like there is in the current homes? So those are 2 questions.
So yes, there is this, I think it's a gypcrete, is that what it's called?
Show up at
Yes.
Is there
Come on up, Joe.
an extra one?
Yeah, here. Was I sort of right?
Yes. So yes, we do have a soundproofing system of both either double layer chipboard or also hat channels, which are sound absorption channels that go in between the chipboards as well to improve the soundproofing. We do that in between all the walls that are separating units, the floors between the units up and down, and around all the utility areas as well. So that architect plan is in place for soundproofing between units.
What is the population right now?
The total population of the community as a whole, all levels of care, is probably around 540, something like that.
Okay. And how would you compare yourself with Westminster Canterbury and Cedarfield in terms of size? I'm not going to call them, but you probably know like the.
Cedarfield and Lakewood are about the same size, I would say. Westminster Canterbury is much larger than we are. Twice as many. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you all so very much. Please do not forget to fill out your card, whether you are interested or not, yes or no. We would like to know that. If you would like any other information, we are here. We're going to be hanging around. If you've got questions you did not want to ask in a forum, Alden, Ginger, Mary Catherine, and I are here. Thank you so much, and we really look forward to chatting with you all and hopefully having you come in. Thank you so much.